October 7th, about 2.5, 2, 3 years ago, with Hamas. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, Iran funded them. This is all bullshit.
Yeah,
right? Hold on. Let me finish. 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 I know. Hold on.
No, shut up.
Hold on. So here comes the. See, this is why these conversations never become genuine.
Yeah.
And people who side with the Jewish.
Shut up, El Normal. Shut up, El Normal.
No, I'm not going right
who
past
side.
your offer.
People who side. Look,
Shut up, El Normal.
He's making every case for why people don't like Jews now. He's making every case for why people don't like Jews now.
Don't give a shit.
He's making.
You don't care. I don't care.
But guess what? Since you don't care, you and everybody just
I don't
that
care
things
that
like you.
you're a
Shut up, El Normal. Shut up, El Normal. Shut up, El Normal.
No fucking way am I gonna
This country that they call Israel is jeopardizing the lives of Americans, right? By what they're doing in America, siding with them on a genocide, number one.
Man, fuck them Palestinian bitches, bro. What the fuck are you screaming?
And then I know another nigger, right? We got a nigger off his
Your daddy's a nigger.
We got a
Your grandpa is a nigger. Your grandpa is a nigger with a shovel. Don't fuck with me, boy. I will spit your ass off. Shut up, boy.
Racist on this stage.
Nigger monkey, boy. Over here calling me a nigger. These others some stamp me.
This isn't racist. They're all black. Like this is.
It ain't racist, bro. It ain't racist. Monkey boy. This monkey boy goes, shut up, boy. This monkey nigga thug.
Look at what happens when I'm just trying to make a submission and get out.
No, you call me a nigger, you bitch. You are a bitch nigger. You are a bitch nigger. And you will watch your mouth when you speak to me, bitch boy.
Your mother and father.
This is not topic, bitch. I will tell your mama, nigga. I will tell your mama, nigga. Nigga, I will stroke your mama, nigga. I will stroke your mama, nigga. I like them old. I like them old. I like them old, thug. I like them old. Bring your mama to me, nigga. Shut up, bitch. And like I said, fuck them Palestinian fuck, nigga. Fuck them dirty ass niggas. I hope Israel shoot the fuck out their ass. And any dirty nigger Mike that don't like you, nigga, can go suck their mama motherfucking old crusted razor brand titty, nigga.
So let me ask something here, because I know we're getting a little wild in here. Has Israel shown restraint with using their nuclear weapons? Are they a rational actor?
They are irrational to the fact that they are attacking countries that have nothing to do with October 7th. Because this is what. Hold on a second. Hold on. Israel doesn't have a nuclear weapon. America gave them a nuclear weapon. Let's get that straight. They don't have
evidence of that.
They don't have one. There is no nuclear reactor in the countries of Palestine or in the other portions of the West Bank, Gaza, or anywhere on that island there. They call Israel. There is no nuclear reactor. There is no nuclear reactor in that region. So
are you sure?
There is no nuclear reactor in the most.
Are you sure?
Another dirty slave said that.
Absolutely.
Don't like him. Another dirty bitch.
So Matt, like I was saying,
bitch. Fucking
so Matt, like I was saying.
It becomes more painful. We can't let Doug finish, you guys. Come on. Let's go, Doug. Let's go.
Right, so Matt, like I was saying, it's just that I don't know what kind of narrative people are painting with this bad actors or restraint with the weapon, and they're not, they have all this discipline on. It's just another propaganda machine of how the Jewish lobby just tries to spin this whole narrative of what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to get rid of the entire Arab world in the region in order for them to be safe and ultimately take over the oil reserves in Saudi Arabia. That's what this shit is ultimately about.
When did they do that?
To that point, though, they can just use their nuclear capabilities, right, to remove any Muslims.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that.
Oh.
That would start.
Why
that would create. They can't. If Israel tries to use a nuclear weapon, you can say goodbye to America.
But they've been restrained, then, is what you're saying, right? They
No, they haven't been. No, they haven't been restrained. America knows that they're going to feel the brunt.
They threatened it a couple times, actually.
When did they use their nuclear weapon?
For a country that you supposedly says hates Muslims, this being Israel, like really a simple comment or a statement, but it really does come down to that. For a country that is being deemed as a country that's supposed to hate a certain group of people or at least remove a certain group of people, they sure aren't really doing that to that extent. I mean,
let me explain a little
you
bit.
can educate me. I'm learning.
Matt, you gotta think, right? You gotta think like this, Matt. This is how I think. Number one, the country that they call Israel is a small country. They don't have a military large enough to attack all of these other countries that they've already attacked already. So now you have to be able to surmise that where is this military coming from for them to be able to do all of this, right? Don't say drones. Don't say that there is still an arsenal of weaponry that has to be enacted by a military in order for them to even carry this out. America is behind the scenes using Israel as a proxy to get rid of these. It's whatever the deal was, whatever America shook with these Zionists to get this job done. Right? Whatever America agreement that they made with Israel to get this done, I wish I was the fly on the wall to hear it. But that's what's going on.
So do you think without U.S. support, Israel would exist?
Exactly.
If without U.S. support, there would be no such thing as a Jew. If there was not a such thing as Israel, not just a such thing as Israel, there would not be a Jew left on the planet if this not for American support.
That's stupid.
But if Israel ever did use a nuke, it would be mutually assured destruction, right? Like after, let's say you bomb Saudi Arabia, you bomb Iran, I think even Pakistan came out and said if the Israelis nuke Tehran, we'll launch a nuke on Israel, and they have them. I think that's what every country knows. As soon as you get this weapon, you can never really use it. It's really just to make sure I got this thing under this ace up
But
under
Jack,
my sleeve, and I'll use this to make me.
But Jack, isn't the thinking, and you can completely correct me, but isn't there a martyrdom case to be made? I mean, they are supposed to kill the infidels at the end of the day, right? In a certain sense. So I mean, like, there's no rational reason for them to be like, oh, okay, well, if I use it, then some other country's going to use it on me, because we have a different way of thinking, right? Obviously, there's a thinking like that, right?
Well, actually, not that. With Shia Muslims, it's not necessarily
I
that.
know it's a little different, but
It's a little different, but also, you gotta understand, these guys are, probably some of the IRGC is probably some of the most corrupt people on the planet, not in terms of just money and power, but also principles, you know what I mean? Like, their core interest is to retain power and spread their influence and make more money and get more of that power, right? And they know that if they ever use one of these nuclear weapons, it's game over.
So you hit on something very key there. So their main interest is to just make sure to repel the people like or countries like Israel or anybody else that would come to hurt them that way, right? That's the whole essential reason to have nukes. Is that kind of where you're going? Your rationale behind that? Yeah.
Listen, even Saudi Arabia, if Saudi Arabia doesn't want Iran to have nukes, right? Because they're regional rivals, and Saudi Arabia has been trying to play it diplomatically lately. Last couple of years, they've made good on relations again. They've got embassies now. They're trying to cool the tensions, but if Iran gets one, then Saudi Arabia needs to get one, and then the domino effect ensues. And so there's a lot of issues there, but Iran they want that weapon for a defensive weapon. They have other weapons for offense, but the nuke is a defensive thing.
And you had mentioned that you're more afraid of it being linked to a proxy group, right?
Yeah, if they give it to the Houthis, or they give it to Hezbollah, we have a big problem here,
Would it be the Houthis, you said? I don't even know what group it would be.
Yeah, there was actually reports recently about, IRGC wanting to give the Houthis a nuclear weapon or holding it or something, and that kind of thing is extremely irresponsible. And would just cause, like, the nuclear weapon is the golden prize. Like, you have to be trusted to have one of these, and if everyone has them, and everyone starts getting them, especially non-state actors, then we're fucked.
So then that means it's abuse of power. So did not Israel use abuse of power of bombing 75 5% of infrastructure in Gaza and committing genocide by cutting off water, food, and aid for the past 3 months. Is that not abuse of power?
Okay, hold on. This room is about Israel versus Iran. I'm not letting you guys hijack it. There are literally rooms about Gaza. You can go there and just entertain yourself. So
Let's not talk about the bad side of it.
Okay, well then let
You're
me ask
talking
you
about
one
two
question.
different countries.
Let's not talk about the bad stuff of
Let
it.
me ask you this
We're
one
not playing
question
this
then.
shit.
You already made your point. Let me ask you a question. Why did Netanyahu say 3 times from 2005, 2010, and the 90s kept saying Iran was months away from having a nuclear weapon? Why did he keep
Because they was, and every time they stopped them. Because every time they were. Right now, let me tell you something. Even if right now, today, if Israel just destroys all these facilities, all these missiles, everything they have, with the head of these people, in 2 years, 2 to 5 years, IRGC will just rebuild everything. The only way this shit will end is if IRGC is gone.
So sad.
You know why they won't change? You know why they won't change? Because they are Shia Muslims. Their last imam has gone missing, and he's supposed to come back, and they're supposed to keep the land for their imam to come back and take over the world. That's why they say death to Israel, because they're supposed to kill Jews. That's why they say death to America, because America's their enemy of their God. Okay, so stop with this bullshit nonsense. Like seriously, you guys are just exhausted. We're exhausted. Iranians are exhausted. Israelis are exhausted. Jewish people are exhausted. We're tired of this. And then you guys have your nose sticking
Well,
everything.
Americans are
Just like you
exhausted,
know everything.
by the way.
We the motherfuckers paying for it. So what you mean?
Americans are
We
exhausted
don't want
from giving
paying
you
for the
money.
fucking stupid
Yeah.
ass Israel.
America-
That's all we
Let me
gotta
ask
pay.
you something.
Yeah.
We gotta pay because we pay for the shit, nigga.
No, we're anti-war. We don't want any war. And
No,
If
we
there's
are
peace
paying for
in
this
the
shit.
Middle East,
Sarah, I
Jack,
want to tell you something
Jack,
real
let
quick.
me
We
say
support
one
the people.
if there is peace
Yeah.
in the Middle East, if there is peace, if IRGC is gone, there will be
No,
peace.
we have to get rid of Israel. It's not IGC, it's Israel.
It's not going anywhere,
We
stop.
have to
The
get rid of
Zionists in Israel. The Zionists.
Yes, you are.
Dreaming.
Yes, you are. Israel is
Because
gonna
the
go.
Zionist, yes, the definition of Zionist for you and me is different. I'm Iranian girl, Muslim Iranian, and you're calling me Zionist
You're not
because
Muslim,
what you
though.
know,
You said Islam was the worst. What are you talking about?
it is the worst. I got lashed
Okay,
and
you're not
lashed me
Muslim.
33
I'm
times.
just saying.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
You just said you're
Telling
Muslim.
me I'm Muslim or not. You're telling me what I'm not, what I am, and
You
what I'm
probably
not.
deserve
You're saying you can't lie to
If
your
you, Jack, if you open your fucking mic one more time, I'm gonna remove you from the room.
Just like you.
Okay? You don't tell people what the religion is or is not.
You'll have to agree.
You
And
guys
you're
are
like trying to tell a Muslim woman who was
You're
raised in
literally
Iran
not a
that what they are, what they're not. You know what? I'm done with you.
That's
Go
fine,
down
but
to
you're
the
lying.
audience.
Sarah, please mod me.
I can't do that. This is Matt's room. But I did send him down to the audience because he's just an absolute troll.
So
We're tired. America's tired of it. Okay, then what's wrong with having peace? Because if there's peace there would be no war. If there's no IRGC, there is no way for them to support.
No, if there is no Israel, there will be nobody crying
You
about
say that because
anything.
you're anti-Jewish.
he is. He already says that. He knows. But here's my question to the people: if you can separate yourself from, your Israel, hate in that way, are you opposed for those people wanting a regime change? There's totally two separate issues if you want to treat it that way. If you just take Israel kind of out of this picture, are you for regime change on Iran? That's the question.
Okay, so here's the answer. No, I'm not in for regime change. Who are you to say that this regime needs to change of a people who are more ancient than you, right? And we're talking about the Jew, right? The Persians, who the Iranian people, who they are, has an ancient history. Israel does not. Who are you to say that these people need to have a regime change when you have co-opted a whole ethnic person's country of Palestinians? You don't have the right to do that.
Because the Islamic Republic is not a part of our culture. That's it.
They call the Persian Empire back in the Old
Israel
Testament.
is
What are you
not.
talking about, dude? The Old Testament.
To suggest that Israel is not ancient is ridiculous.
Israel is not ancient at all.
So
Neither are the people who call themselves Israeli. Menachem Begin, right, is from Poland. He's not Israeli. He was not even called it. There was no one called Israeli during the creation of the IDF in 1947. Where were the Israel? No one had the identity of Israeli during this occupation. So why are you sitting up here talking about Israelis have an ancient history? You're a liar. So
Okay. I have to send this guy to the audience, Matt. I mean, I can't sit here and have people
Stop
talk
everybody who
and just.
disagrees with you. That's a great
No,
way to
it's
have a
not about
conversation.
disagreeing. He said IRGC, the regime of Iran, that he's anti removing the regime because Iran's culture has been around for 2,000 years. They do not represent Iranians. They have been in
Why
power
is he
for
not
40
allowed to
years.
have that position?
because
You can be wrong and you can disagree, but why would you
No,
push
you
him
can't.
down?
You can't spew
You
lies.
basically don't
Why
want
don't you
anyone
let
to disagree
Sohail
with you.
talk?
Concrete,
Why don't you let
like
another
people
Iranian
talking
man
about
talk?
the black
Sohail, you tell me what you think.
What?
I don't know this guy.
Oh
So
my
Sarah
God.
June,
Concrete, you don't like that.
Man, I've never heard you speak before, but now that I have, just go back on mute, bro.
Okay, every time you're off mute, you're stupid anyways. But the point is that you're not allowed to talk about whatever other people are going through because you're not there. So that's just the way that goes. And that's just the way it is. You guys speak out every day on this.
Like, how old are you, bro?
About all your plights and stuff like that. Why you hitting on me?
Man, no, I want to know. I want to know how old you are, so I can know how long you've been in this state of like.
Yeah, you're just mind more.
How long you been this childish?
Go get
Man?
it, drink. Go get
Do
it.
you have some childish trauma where they call it arrested development?
Get off the bed. Go back to chilling.
You have arrested
Go back to
development, man?
chilling.
Sarah June, I have a question for you. So, when Trump says no to this particular move, as per the article, what do you think? How do you think America can help Iran from the regime? Regime?
I don't know what do you mean by saying no. Is it saying no? You can't.
No.
Like, we're not
Okay.
gonna
So
help you?
when Israel, okay, so based on the article, I'm just saying. So when Israel wants to plan to assassinate Khomeini, right? So and Trump says no to that, meaning he wants a deal, right? So let's say Iran, as a collective country, makes or agrees to give up the nuclear program, right? Which is obviously under the Khomeini's administration, which is the regime that Iranians hate, right? And don't get me wrong, I know a lot about Iran because I'm very closely connected with a lot of Iranians around me. And so my question to you is, how does America help Iran
Listen,
without a war? Let's put it without a war. I want to emphasize
we
that.
have to wait and just see how things are getting unfold. I can tell you my opinion. This is just Sarah's opinion. I have no proof for it. But the way everything has been unfolding, so precise, so organized, I do believe they know what they're doing. There's a plan. It's not just something that Israel woke up like Bibi woke up one night drunk or hungover and be like, let me go attack Iran. This is not what's going on. I do believe this is going to be
Wait, what?
a plan. Hey, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, that's why you got. You know what? I'm gonna be nice to you, cause you want.
No, I'm talking.
Evil.
You have no
want
respect.
evil.
You have
You
no
want
respect
evil.
for anyone.
Look, I'm not gonna repay your
I
evil.
want evil.
Go ahead, continue to
I
talk.
want evil. Why don't you just mute
You're a good
yourself and I tell
Muslim
you what's
woman. You
evil?
talk like a man. You're a
You
good
know what's
Muslim
evil?
woman, and you act like a man.
You know what's evil?
Yeah, you're a good Muslim woman, aren't
You know what's evil?
you? You're a good Muslim woman, aren't you?
You know what's evil? Evil is
All
raping women and
religious people
children,
are fucking
killing children. That's
Is
what.
that why you talk like a
And
man?
that's what
Is that why you talk like a man?
is doing. IRGC is doing it to its own people. To its own
Is that why you
That's
talk like a man?
Is that why you're defending IRGC because you're just a piece of shit
So
Muslim?
now you're just lying.
Is
Sarah,
that why
brush
you're
it up.
doing it?
Sarah, why don't you move him down so you can finish talking?
Yeah, that's a great way to have a conversation.
See why Matt is not
Move everybody that disagrees with you
parties
down.
out. This is not my room, really.
You can
Like,
sit here and talk about yourself.
Sarah, did you call him a filthy Muslim?
Look at you guys depending on the white man to do everything.
this one. Yes, I did. I didn't See what I said? A dirty Muslim man.
Matt,
who is
are we wrapping this up
attacking
soon? Come on, you
me,
need
who
to.
is attacking me.
I'm starting my live stream. You know, I'm speaking at the Klan rally tonight.
He's calling you a
Yes,
good
no,
Muslim
I,
woman.
you know,
No,
the
no,
Ku
no,
Klux
no,
Klan,
did not call me
they have
that.
asked me to be a keynote speaker.
Stop! Joe, that dude did not call me that. He told me I am not Iranian, I am not Muslim, I can't talk. Now, some non-Iranian guy is telling me what I am, what I'm not, and what my experience living in Iran has been under the IRGC. There's nothing funny about that. And when I said I was lashed in Iran under the Islamic rules, and he told me maybe you did something to deserve it. So yes, I called him a filthy Muslim.
You don't have to bring down a whole religion.
But you named him for what it is. Why are you explaining yourself, Sarah? He is filthy.
Sarah.
Tell a woman if you were lashed, then maybe you did something that you deserve it. And that's why Islam is a filthy, nasty religion. As a Muslim woman, I'm telling you, that's why it's such a nasty religion. And that's it. That's the bottom line. And it's funny because a black man who cries about my ancestors.
That wasn't a black man. That was a porch monkey. There's a difference. I explained this
I
already.
don't know. Someone like that same man comes and tells me that in the year of 2000, in this century, it's okay for women to be lashed for not covering their hair properly. And you're telling me if I call them a filthy Muslim? Muslim man, any man who thinks that's okay of a woman is a filthy person. If they're doing it because of their Quran laws, then yes, they are a Muslim filthy person.
Okay.
So yes,
Sarah, can I respond to you?
Well, Sarah's right. I mean, when they come on vacation to Los Angeles, Sarah, a lot of them stink. I don't even
Let's
think
get
they
back to
bathe.
the convo.
Is there something in the Quran about them not bathing?
Okay,
I'm just
I'll
curious.
just respond there for a quick second. Sarah, first off, I agree with you. Whoever thinks it's okay for a woman to get lashed is a filthy person. I agree with you. But if Matt would have said that to me, or whoever was speaking before would said that, I wouldn't have said you are a filthy American. I would have said you are a filthy person. That's it. And you, as a woman, as a human, you have the right to subscribe and be a Muslim. And you saying that you are a Muslim, but you say it's a filthy religion. Why do you subscribe to that religion? Why don't you just leave that religion?
I'll tell you why.
She was forced.
No, because if you're born Muslim, you cannot leave that religion. So whether I think I'm Muslim or not, it doesn't matter. I'm a Muslim because I'm born in that religion. You know, we're not playing this bullshit game, Joe. I already know.
We're talking about Muslim is not an ethnicity, Sarah.
I was born in Islam.
So that means you don't have free
If
will.
I leave Islam, let me
You have free will, Sarah.
No, the fuck you don't. If you believe in any religion, you never had free will. Those
No,
are
she has to
the
be
convo,
anyone
man.
that believes
Let's
any
get off
motherfucking
now.
religion.
Come on, yeah.
Let's go back to the combo.
Sarah, are you done, or you want to keep going?
No, I just want to make sure that everybody understands. Islam is not an ethnicity, okay? If you are a Muslim, you subscribe to the religion. No, if you're a Muslim, you subscribe to the religion. You are a Muslim. But if you don't fulfill the 5 pillars of Islam,
He's lying. You don't get that choice.
You know what?
If you are born Muslim, if you're born with a Muslim parents, you're Muslim. And if you leave that religion, any Muslim who kills you will go to heaven, and they're gonna get.
You're not in Iran, Sarah. You're not in Iran.
It doesn't matter. Sarah's right.
You're not in Iran, Sarah.
That's why she's still
It
alive.
doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Listen,
Okay.
I'm gonna identify as Muslim till my last breath. Because if
That's
you
up to
call me
you.
Islamophobic and just spread, I know where you're trying to go. I'm a Muslim, motherfucker. What are you gonna do about it? I am a Muslim, and I'm gonna identify as a Muslim. You're not gonna go around and say, oh, these non-Muslims.
And guess what? She's gonna eat bacon and pork, and she's gonna like it. Okay? She's gonna like it.
I know
that's right, girl.
Get it.
I'm not talking about you, Sarah, personally. I'm just saying because the Jews, they have proclaimed to be an ethno-religious group. So that means that if a Jew is from Ethiopia If a Jew is from Morocco, if a Jew is from Poland, it doesn't matter. He's a Jew, right? So they're an ethno-religious group. That means their culture, their religion is so intertwined.
Fuck Somalia. Fuck Somalia.
Fuck Somalia, I agree.
Okay,
Yes, fuck Somalia.
I'm not Somali. Okay. But Islam is not an ethno-religious group. If you don't fulfill the 5 pillars of Islam, you're not a Muslim. Just
You
saying.
don't know anything about Islam. My man, you don't know anything.
All right? Okay.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is Khamenei the leader of Iran or the leader of the Shias?
I don't care about the leader of Iran. He's not the prophet.
You just care about getting even with Jews. We hear you. We hear you. Sarah's sitting here talking about.
No, Khamenei is the leader of Shias. Okay, so yes, Islam is a cult, and unfortunately, it's a very bad one because it pokes in every religion, it beats its woman, it rapes its woman. Name me one Muslim country that a husband that
And the
beats his
children.
wife.
And the children, Sarah. Don't forget.
Religion that don't.
There's one country that they have laws, and it's considered a crime to beat your wife. One Muslim country. Give me a name.
Turkey.
Other than Iran, Turkey is not Muslim anymore. They're modernized. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Come on, man. She just said everybody that's born a Muslim is a Muslim, but Turkey is not Muslim.
Muslim
Look at
Arab
her.
country.
Turkey does not have
She's saying Turkey is not Muslim, but everybody that's born a Muslim is a Muslim.
It is not a Muslim country. Turkey performs the most transgender surgeries in the region.
Turkey does not have Islamic constitution. You understand that?
Yo, that's crazy.
Don't have Islamic constitution.
Sarah,
They're modern
Okay.
Muslims. They're just modern.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, Sarah, you're a Muslim, but Turkey's not Muslim, right?
Yeah. Turkey does not have Islamic Turkey does not have this Sharia law. Are you stupid or you pretending to?
I thought it was. This whole planet, don't the whole planet belong to God? So how the fuck in certain places it is religion, in certain places they don't? If there's only one God, it can't be but one religion, but you stupid motherfuckers is always fighting over religion. Make it make sense.
Okay, so we have a huge Iranian diaspora that have left their country because of they had a very strict laws, Islamic strict laws. So they believe that Islam is the problem. But we, other Muslims, we did not have that experience, Sarah. Please understand, you had bad leaders. You know, all the Muslim countries did not.
Why did your family?
I'm not in the United States. I'm not in the United States, BP. Yeah, thank the Lord, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm in a country where I don't get robbed, where I don't get harassed by the police, where I don't see beggars living down the block from me.
You believe in Quran?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Put on a hijab in your country and keep your mustache and see if you don't get harassed by.
In my country, no, I won't get harassed. Thank God. So America is not as good as you think. Okay, I don't want to go there. I've been there a couple of times.
Well, are you from a Gulf?
I don't want to live
Are
there.
you from a Gulf Arab country?
We're not as good as you think.
We're like a brown star.
We're far better than you think.
Well, no, I mean, there's some that are lucky to have oil wealth, and that's pretty much all they have, because they don't innovate anything, and, they have to, import labor for all their important jobs as well as their menial labor, because they literally they're lucky enough to have oil on the
Oil and gas. What kind of cars do they sell?
They don't make anything.
Well, and that's the real.
Some retarded mother.
And that's the real reason why they hate the West, right? Because a lot of these dirty ass camel sand hut wearing freaking Arabs, a lot of them know that the time is coming, right? We're moving to gas powered, electric powered vehicles, especially in America. That's why they hate the West.
And water.
They contribute absolutely nothing else to the world economy. Nothing else.
Neither does Israel. Israel doesn't have any plumbers, carpenters, electricians, but they control all the companies that make the parts.
This guy's funny. we don't create anything. The whole religion system that you have is from us.
And that's
The
what's
whole mathematics system is from us.
That's what's fucked up with the world.
You know,
Religious system is from us.
Okay, now hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Niggas saying we don't have shit.
Yeah, okay, now hold on a second. Let's be realistic here.
Theories and
don't have power.
ideologies and religion.
Okay, let's hold on a second. All right, what do you? Yeah, sure.
Talking about.
One mic.
Here it is.
So now you're.
We told you how to.
Okay, shut the fuck up. So
That's
now
why we
you.
use bidets, because you guys don't know how to wipe your ass.
Okay. So once again, there's nothing. There's no luxury goods. There's no fashion. There's literally nothing that you guys have. I mean, do you guys make things like watches? What the fuck do you guys make? What have you literally come up with
And they still
in
have
the last?
the
Okay, hold on a second. But no, they don't even make bombs. They're fucking worthless. I mean, you guys, if we're gonna have a real,
Camels to make sense.
is my mic low? Is my mic low?
You're good. Pepe,
Bro, it's
shut up.
Fuck Pepe.
So
fucking mouth.
let this Mexican man cook.
Let the Mexican man cook.
So the reality is that I mean, you guys are literally. That's all you guys fucking have is oil both. You guys are literally a worthless group of fucking people. And I mean, when I say worthless, I mean fucking worthless. You have net zero contribution to the fucking world.
That's right. They're useless sand monkeys.
Yes.
Useless sand monkeys.
Absolutely. Do you know? Here's a little history about the United States.
You can call them
Do you know who the first group of people we went to war with? As we were formed a country after the Revolutionary War, it was what was it called? Bavaria. Yes, it was like Berbers. Yes. So a bunch of smelly, stinky fucking sand roosters ended up thinking they could hijack our ships. They could kidnap people, and it was actually a ambassador from there who they asked, why don't you guys stop this? And he said, well, Allah commands us to do this whenever we see you. Just a bunch of Muslim bullshit. And, of course, the U.S. went over there and ended up, I don't know, killing a bunch of them, which is pretty badass. But, I mean, you guys have been a pain in the ass in the fucking world. Like, your religion and you guys as a race, your race, has been literally, what is the Middle East known for? It's all throughout the world. It is known for nothing but fucking war. It's known for nothing but war. You guys are not known for anything else. You guys, nothing.
Bloodshed going on. If you could go ahead and answer his question. It's a legit question, right, Pepe?
You can't answer because they're dumb. This is what happens when you deal with these Arabs that are so fucking inbred. Like they're so fucking inbred and dumb. Like their average IQ is like 70. 70. They're a bunch of illiterate, magic carpet riding, pork chewing sand chimps.
They want to be Jews when you're really a not.
Okay. Let me respond. Let me respond.
I'm the line. That's the racist ass time.
Let me respond. Okay,
Let me explain something.
Okay, very good.
No. I'm going to say one sentence. Muslim, they did provide travel to the sky through their prophet. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Very funny.
Jesus Christ.
Very funny. Okay. So this is okay. So first off, you don't have a lot of information and you're very ignorant. You don't know that a Muslim couple came up with the COVID medicine. If we're gonna talk about the satellite, the first satellite was made by Jordanian.
Muhammad found his wife in elementary school. Muhammad found his wife in elementary school. Let's talk about Muhammad's kindergarten wife.
After Luca came up with the Wi-Fi, where did the Wi-Fi came from? Okay, so the other thing that you said, Pepe, was very It was very interesting. It was very interesting what you said, Pepe. You said the Middle East and the Arabs and the Muslims are not known for nothing else but war. That's very interesting. If everybody here gets on their phone and type on ChatGPT, what race have killed most humans throughout history. You will see white Europeans. You will see white Europeans.
Muslim. It's actually
Islam. And you know what?
no. That's actually It's actually not white people. It's actually the Chinese. That's a well documented.
That's not true. Everybody can do this. Everybody can do this while speaking.
Nobody enslaved nobody but the white mother.
Okay, hold on.
And white people were
Who's
actually.
this what?
Hold on.
Who's this Hebrew Israelite monkey that keeps on fucking talking?
Why
Shut the fuck up.
White people were enslaved by Arabs. White people were enslaved by Arabs as well.
Okay.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
That doesn't make it right.
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
the Muslims, you guys, they actually enslaved more. They actually enslaved.
Hold on, Adams. No, the Arabs enslaved more people in total than Europeans. You fucking idiot. They were doing it for centuries longer than we were. Let me just finish. Okay, so everybody can do this while I'm talking. Go into ChatGPT. What ethnicity has killed most people throughout history? It's the white Europeans. 120 million Native Americans, 100 million Africans, and 10 million Aboriginals from Australia. They used nukes on Japanese people. 56 million during the World War
Too bad they didn't use those nukes in the Gulf. You fucking dirty Sam puppet.
Islam
Dirty Sam puppet. White power. White power.
Your people, Pepe, are dirty and vile.
We're dirty and vile. Look at you guys today. Look at you guys today. You have to cope because at one time, you had people that were living in North Africa, okay, that ended up having, that mathematically were more advanced in other areas. But the reality is, though, is that today, you guys are backwards fucking shitholes. You guys are. If the whole fucking world sees you that way. You guys literally, no, let's look at the rest of the world. I'll tell you what, let's look at the rest of the world, okay? We can look at, hold on a second. Easy there. We can look at a country that has no oil wealth like India. What is India doing? They're now when it comes to generic medications, they're producing a lot of that. When it comes to production in general, they're doing it. The East Asians have been, they've definitely been a lot more innovative than you guys. But I mean, they're advanced economies in Northeast Asia. We can look at Latin America. They produce shit. But Arabs produce nothing. That's what you guys are known for. Your own leaders have been talking about this for decades. You guys don't produce anything.
I just told you what.
You're literally fucking worthless people that have oil wealth, that has to ship in fucking labor from all over the world. Tell us what? That's a sad existence.
Okay.
You're a bunch of fucking nobodies. You've achieved nothing.
Okay.
All of your weaponry has to be imported in by the United States and other countries that actually produce and innovate shit. You drive cars made by other people. You guys literally make nothing.
Okay.
That's fucking pathetic.
Okay, Pepe, that's very
White lives matter.
Okay, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Just this last thing. That's very interesting. This guy Pepe, he mentioned India. If you want to Google Winston Churchill during the during the early 1900s, he had unalived over 100 million Hindus.
That wasn't the point. That wasn't the point. The point was that the Indians actually had more value to the country. No, you stupid motherfucker. The point about India was that they at least produce stuff, and you don't. That's the fucking point.
You steal stuff. That's what you do.
White power.
You steal stuff.
The whole fucking world has to do something. You guys are the only group that doesn't.
You don't do shit but killing people.
You guys, no, all you guys have is oil wealth. That's it. You guys are fucking trash.
I see you hate on that a lot, that oil well. Well.
Yeah, and guess what? We're going to electric vehicles. Shout out to that African American man, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the most successful African American man in America. Okay, thank God for Elon Musk getting rid of these freaking Islamic bats from attacking our economy.
All right, we're gonna do a new voice. I hear some a woman speaking. Who's that?
My name is Ario. I'm not a woman, so
Okay, I'll call on you though. I guess you're not a woman, but go for it. Or somebody, but go ahead.
Appreciate it. So, to the top.
actually works for the Israeli government. Like, don't.
Yeah, actually, I think he does have my point, sir.
No, he doesn't. He's a fucking lame from Detroit.
Yes, he does. Sean.
My point, sir.
Speed your point along so we can get back to dragging these camel riding sandbar.
Just because
just finish your point up.
Your parents are first cousins, don't think that everybody else is a problem. Just listen to what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is,
did you know who to call on Father's Day? Excuse me, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Did you know who to call on Father's Day?
America's been
Oh!
from the jump. And it's high time that you all decide what you're going to do, not if, but when it hits the fan on the other side.
They have videos of this guy fighting black Jews in the
for a
street.
second. Now,
They have videos of this guy fighting black Jews in the street in Israel. Stop it.
Call your father on Father's Day.
Doctor, are you okay with American tax dollars going to?
Shut up! Your parents are cousins. Be quiet.
Joe, here's the thing, okay? And I'm seeing a lot of
nigga, you fucking terrorist baby.
Hold on a second. So, Joe, I keep on hearing this question, which is really funny, okay? It's like I'm one of those people you'd put in the America First category. Now, what really grinds my gears, especially like you, for example, you're not even American. You admitted it. And so with that being said, I know you said you're not American. And so how do you feel about the tax dollars and all of that stuff? You guys don't like us. You don't care about us. The only reason you'll even bring up America First or talk about our taxes is because you motherfuckers want to see Israel no longer get weapons and get punished. That's what why else would you even bring it up?
A fair fight. Why do you have to?
What do you mean a fair fight? People outsource shit and they secure weaponry. Like if you look at some of the, if you were to look at, for example, the science. I know. Yes, I know. You are literally.
And that line.
You're already. Okay, sure. Okay, Joe, shut the fuck up for a second. Joe, I already know this, Joe. I already know this, okay? I have a problem with the Israeli lobby too, okay? So you're barking up the wrong tree. But with that being said, I mean, we can even look at our weapons. The newest weapons that we got were from Sig Sauer, a Swiss company. This is going to be the new rifle for, I think it might even be all four branches of the military. Then we have, before that, we have like FN, which is, I think they're Belgian. I don't know, we use each other's shit. So you're saying it's a fair fight. What do you guys use?
I asked you, how do you
North Korean supplied fucking rockets. Like, who the fuck are you? Who are you guys to talk? Where did you guys get your guns? You guys don't make weapons in Gaza. You don't have a fucking arms industry in Gaza. The only arms you guys make are ones out of stripped apart water pipes that you can fire off into Israel. Like that's all you guys fucking make.
Yeah, look at Tel Aviv. Look at Tel Aviv. That's water bottles. Okay, but Pepe. Okay, Tel Aviv is burning, and you're talking about water bottles. That's funny. Pepe.
Hey, y'all still crying about your bitch ass motherfucking Palestine?
Yeah, exactly. You can't find your.
Look at every country in that region is supporting every country.
I asked you a specific question. How do you feel?
You can say this all at the same time, okay, Joe? To answer your question, I don't like our tax dollars going to them. That's fine. It's probably against what a lot of people in this room believe. However, with that being said, hold on. But however, despite that being said, does not mean that I have to take the. Okay, Aaron. Hold on. So, with that being said, it does not mean that I take the fucking side of the Palestinians, okay? I mean, I think you guys are lucky. Okay, let's imagine October 7th ended up happening to a bunch of fucking Turks. You know the Turks would have fucking curb stomped you guys. Like a bunch of fucking cockroaches. Nobody would deal with that. And even when it comes to Israel. Because everybody's talking, but if we were to look at, shut the fuck up, you bitches, you white.
did Iran do to USA? They just said.
So if we were to look at what's the one country that does actually make their own weapons? The Israeli weapons industries actually make their own fucking weapons. You have Albeit Systems that actually makes a lot of high-end fucking shit. Even our U.S. troops use some of their fucking night vision goggles and shit. Okay, what do you fucking retards that live in that area fucking make? Nothing. You guys are fucking worthless.
Okay, hold on. There are Arab manufacturers of destroyers and other weapons systems like that.
Aaron, we can't hear you. Jason's trying to speak. Okay.
No,
So,
Thank you.
first of all, Sig Sauer is an American company. It was a Swiss brand, but there is Sig Sauer USA. They make the rifles. You are correct about Elbit, but that's because Elbit bought Harris. So it's actually just the same American company and factory making night vision goggles. But sure, we do buy some stuff from Israel. Trophy is.
Well, Israeli weapons
But I think
industries is
more
definitely
broadly-
Israeli.
I think more broadly, though, the interesting point here is pretty much every country in that region is armed by the U.S. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan. I mean, how long?
No, but he was talking about his neighbors. He wanted it to be a fair fight. Like, where do the Palestinians get? How long? He was comparing the people they were fighting with, not the Gulf Arab states.
How long has Jordan been a security partner of the U.S. for very, very long?
Yeah, but we're talking. He said he wanted to make it a fair fight.
between Iran and
are
Israel.
armed by Iran.
We're not talking about that.
I mean,
Don't talk about Iran.
We were talking about Iran and Palestine. We're not talking about the other countries.
broadly speaking, everyone in that region is armed by the U.S. or someone else except Iran.
Okay. So let's say Iran, right? What does Iran have? Hold up. What does Iran have? Iran have 136 drones that they create. Okay, they have this missile. What is it called? The supersonic missile. They created. They have a nuclear facility, right? They have a 136 drone, kamikaze. They have the Bavar 373 air defense system.
That off the list that was eliminated yesterday.
No, just portion of it. They have the Fatah missile.
The nuclear facilities, new pronouns were was, okay? Don't exist no more. Let's move on.
So Pepe, you were incorrect. They make their own weapons. They use it. Look at Tel
First, we're
Aviv.
talking about Palestine, but if you want to talk about Israel, sure. If you want to talk about Israel, well, I know they had some like F-15s and maybe F-14 Tomcats or some shit that was left over from the Shah.
At Tel Aviv.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys. That's why you guys can't intercept any of the new 5th generation fighters that go into your into the Iranian airspace and bomb shit at will. Like you guys can't do anything about it.
But Pepe, you were wrong. You said they don't create weapons. They use their own weapons.
Sure. Yeah, they had like 19. Yeah, they were making over half a century ago.
That's a
So
different
what?
argument. You said they don't create weapons. They're using their weapons right now.
Okay, Israel. Yeah, but Israel creates more advanced weaponry than Iran does. What the fuck are you talking about?
Stop giving them U.S. taxpayers money.
So why is Israel asking for US help? You know, it's
Why? I can be against, like I said, just because I'm against giving Israel money does not mean that I'm gonna take like Iran's side. They're a bunch of fucking
No, you don't have.
Nobody fucking likes them.
You don't have to. But just to answer your question, you said Israel create stuff. They're amazing.
Yes, they create shit. They create modern shit.
Yeah, but
They create modern shit. Iran does not create modern shit. That is a fucking fact. In fact, Israel creates shit that other first world countries and first world militaries will utilize their fucking equipment. That is not the same. Cannot be said for fucking Iran. Nobody uses that fucking shit that lives in the first world.
Okay, so Israel don't need your help. In other words, they don't need your help.
But Iran relies on China.
I can also create a nuclear weapon.
And so the reality here is that this is not just about Iran and Israel. This is about the U.S. and China. And hey, if China would stay out of the Middle East, we would probably stay out of the Middle East. But that's not how the world works, and we know that. We know that if we put out of the Middle East, our enemies will nevertheless poke their noses in
and try to make that space their space and control it. And that's why we have to be involved, Joe.
Yeah.
And that's why
The
you should be thinking about.
weapons that being used.
That's why you should be thinking about.
I hear you.
What does the U.S. want?
So which country has Chinese military in there right now?
What the U.S. wants is Israel there.
American won't
And so
answer
you
all.
should want Israel there.
Joe, you keep on bringing up how but Israel has to use their stuff. Israel has to use their stuff. Like the reality is though is that even if you look at Ukraine, for example, what did we do to Ukraine? We gave them a bunch of fucking basically modern weapons to help fight against Russia. That's normal for countries that are allies.
Country.
Aaron, you give Israel the most money
Nobody
of
gives
all
a
the
flying
countries.
curry what you have to say, Aaron. Be quiet.
Yeah, because Jews don't like.
Will you shut your fucking cheap mouth, Aaron? Jesus Christ.
No, son, yo, Matt, can you drop Aaron?
We cannot understand you. Go fuck off.
What the tikka masala is happening?
Don't like India. Yeah, that I know.
Okay, yes. Free Bombay in the chat. Okay, go ahead, Pepe.
Adam, you're the worst example.
Well, no, I want to know. This is what I want to know. Okay. So what I want to know is why is it a fucking problem that we give Israel weapons or sell them weapons, whatever, but when we do it, okay, even when it came to war, when we ended up going to war in Afghanistan, there were a bunch of countries, primarily Western countries, who, even though it was us who got attacked, they decided not only were they going to give us, we'd sell weapons to each other, but they were going to end up putting their men and women in that country, in Afghanistan. Same thing happened with Iraq.
Okay, I will answer you. So first off, that's not a problem. You can sell them a bunch of weapons, right? But here's the issue. Israel is not only getting weapons, they are the country that gets most amount of money.
I know. Why does that fucking matter to you?
Billion.
Why does that matter to you?
I will answer you. So the weapons they get from the United States of America, they use that money, right? American taxpayer money, to fucking control.
But you're not an American. Why do you care?
Because
once again, you only care. No, hold on a second. You only care. Yeah, you can say America's complicit. That's fine.
Yeah.